Layer masks. Now, layer masks are the most powerful way of fine-tuning and editing existing selections, whether you've used the Paths tool like we've done here, or a Marquee tool or a Lasso tool. Whatever you've used, layer masks are going to help you make it even more accurate. So let's go back to the layers palette. We have our selection already made. You can look at the Paths move if you want to see how we did that, and then click on the Add a Mask icon. And what that will do is it will hide everything outside of the selection, and it will do that by filling everything outside the selection with black and leaving the middle bits white, the selected bits white, because white makes the layer solid and black makes the layer transparent, which means we can actually take an airbrush and go to the layer mask, and if we spray black on the layer mask, then we make the layer mask transparent, and if we spray white on the layer mask, we make the layer mask solid. So between the white and the black brush, you can fine-tune problems like the knee here. You basically got a little bit here from the outside of the knee that we don't want to see, but there's also bits missing here. There's a bit being chopped off. So what we'll do is we'll take a white brush and we'll just spray in some of the information. Now make sure you're on the layer mask. You can tell that you are by this little icon here. If you just click on here, you've got that icon showing. If you click on the layer itself, then paintbrush shows. Okay, so make sure you're painting on the mask. Let's paint some black into this section of the knee here just to hide it. There we go, soften that edge there. And then if you want to restore something, go back to white again and spray in with the white. I'm using a nice soft edged brush, so we've got a soft selection there being made. If we used a hard brush, then of course we'd have a hard selection. But a soft edge is better because it'll blend in more with whatever background we choose to add to the image at the end. Okay, so nice soft brush there. And then of course the very sharp edge to the path here isn't very good. So let's choose white. Press X to go between black and white brushes. It's a very quick way of doing that. And then you can then just happily spray in or hide things that you want to see, like so. I mean, if I just change that and spray again, it'll cut a hole in that section there. So it's very easy to fine-tune once you get going. So there's an area here that we don't want to see, so let's press X to get black and spray out that little bit of area we didn't want to have a look at there. So that's black and white with a layer mask. What you can do also is, I mean, if we go and spray some white here, we're showing sections of the city in the background there. If I reduce the opacity of the brush a little bit, then it's semi-transparent. You can still see that we're seeing some of the area here, but we're also seeing the checkered background there, indicating that we're seeing the layer and the background as well. So basically you could then use that technique to sort of spray black, semi-transparent black into the layer mask to partially hide details like parts of the hair, but also see some of the little bits of wispy hair that you want to keep. So it's not just black and white, but it's grey as well, because in effect what we're doing is we're spraying grey into the layer mask there. In fact, if I hold down the optional Alt button, we can go to the layer mask and you can see, yeah, there's the soft semi-opaque brush there that we're using to sort of reveal bits of hair. You can see there the different shades of grey and how they work on the main layer. So you've got a real amazing amount of control over what you decide to show and hide from your original selection until you've got it absolutely perfect. And if you want to see the effect of the image without the layer mask, you can disable it. You get a big cross through there, so you can sort of see bits that you may have missed, like bits of hair at the top here that we might want to try and recover. So there's some hair there. Let's enable the layer mask again. Okay, there we go. So yes, there's a lot of hair that we could decide to try and paint in using different opacity brushes. Let's just take that up to white there, and then just spray just to show a little bit more of what we can see. And once we've revealed a section, I'm using sort of semi-opaque brush here, then we can tidy it up by pressing X going up to 100% opacity and just hiding the bits that we don't need to see. Okay, so that needs a fair bit of work to fine-tune. It'll be easier to see things that need to be hidden or shown as well with a background added, different background perhaps. But that's the basics of layer masks there, and you've got all the information you need there to fine-tune any selection that you've made to make the selection perfect. Okay, cheers for now.